a total Sonic the Hedgehog fan, like everyone else. I like the newer games, but I don't mind paying the classic. I don't think I've ever played a easy hacked game before. I don't think I want to pay any after the experience I have. It started on a nice summer afternoon. I was playing Sonic Unleashed. I like how you got to explore the towns in it, until I noticed out of my peripheral vision, the mailman had arrived and put something in my mailbox as usual and left. I paused my game to see what I got in the mail. The only thing in the mailbox was a CD case for computers and a note. I took it inside. I looked at the note and realized that it was from my dear friend Kyle, whom I haven't heard from in 2 weeks. I knew Kyle because I recognized his handwriting. What was weird is how it looked. It looked badly written and slashy and somewhat difficult to read, as if Kyle was having a hard time writing down and did it in a hurry. This is what he wrote. Tom, I can't take it anymore. I had to get rid of this thing before it was too late, and I was hoping that you could do it for me. I can't do it. He's after me, and if you don't destroy the CD, he'll come after you too. He's too fast for me. Please, Tom, destroy this godforsaken disc, cause he goes happen you too. It's too late for me. Destroy this. You destroy him, but dude kick all license cats. You don't even pay the game. It's what he wants. That's the side. Please, Kyle. Wow, that was totally weird. Even though Kyle is my best friend and I haven't seen him in 2 weeks, I didn't do what he asked me. I didn't think a simple gaming disc would do anything bad to him. After all, it's just a game, right? Boy, I was wrong about that. Anyway, I looked at the disc and it looked like any ordinary CD disc, except it had back marker on it written Sonic.exe. And it must unlike Kyle's handwriting, meaning he must have gotten it from somewhere else, like a pawn shop or eBay. When I saw Sonic on the writing on the CD, I was actually excited and wanted to pay it. Since I'm a big Sonic fan, I went up to my room and turned on the computer and put the disc in and installed the game. And when the title screen popped up, I noticed that it was the original Sonic the Hedgehog for the Sega Genesis. I was like, awesome! Because, like I said earlier, I like the classics. The first thing I noticed that was out of pace was when I passed out. There's a split second when I saw the title image turn into something much different, something that I now consider horrifying before cutting to back. I remember what the image looked like in that split second before the game cut to back. The side had Duncan and the title emblem was Watson. The Sega 1991 was now replaced with Sega 666, and the water had turned red like blood. But the feature screen that I saw in that split second thing was Sonic. His eyes were pitched back and being with two glowing red dots staring right at me. His smile was wider to the edge of his face. I was really thrilled about that image when I saw it. I figured that was just a kiss and forgot about it. After it cut to back, it stayed like that for like 10 seconds or so. And a longer weird thing happened. The save file select from Sonic 3 and Knuckles popped up, and I was like, what's this doing in the full Sonic game? Anyways, can I know something that was something off? The background was the dark, cloudy side of the Speedway level in Sonic CD. There was only 3 save files. The music was that creepy theme from Oldbound, only it was extended and seemed to have been in reverse. The image for the save file when you see a preview of the level you're on is just red static for all 3 files. What freaked me out the most was the character select. It showed only Tails, Knuckles, and to my surprise, Dr. Robotnik. Now I was so some myself. I mean, how can you play as Robotnik in a classic Sonic game? That's what I realized. It wasn't a easy game, it was a hacked game. Yeah, it definitely looked to be hacked. It was really creepy, but as a smart game, I wasn't scared, or at least I tried not to be. I told myself it was just a hacked game and there's nothing wrong with it. Anyway, taking off the creeped out feeling, I picked Fire on and those tails when I selected and caught tight. The game froze for like 5 seconds and the creepy pixelated laugh. Sounded a lot like that Catherine from Final Fantasy before Cotton to back. Ho 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 ho! The screen played back for about 10 seconds or more. Then it showed the typical level title thing, except the persistent shapes through different shades of red, and the text only showed Hail, Act 1. The screen faded in and the level title banners revealing Tails in the Green Hill song from Sonic the Hedgehog 1. The music was different, so it sounded like a peaceful melody in rebirth. Anyways, I started playing and had Tails start running like you would in any of the classic Sonic games. What was odd is that Tails was on one level. There was nothing but fat count and teeth for about 5 minutes. That was when the peaceful music started to roll down into so deep tones, scary slowly as I kept going. Suddenly I saw something and I stopped to see what it was. It was one saw Vicky's lying down on the ground breathing. That's when the music started to slow down. Tails had a soft and saddened look on his face that I had never saw him before. And I had him move around, and he had that worried look on his face. As he kept moving, I saw more dark Vickies as Tails moved faster and looking more and more worried as the music rolls down. He moves fast, more dark Vickies. I was shocked to see how he all died. They looked like if somebody killed him, and like a gruesome with a sword was hanging on the teeth to what appeared to be his eyes, his entrails hanging out. A bunny had all four of his limbs torn off, and a dog had his eyes gouged out and his throat slit. I felt sick to my stomach when I saw this massacre, and apparently so did Tails. A few seconds, there were no more animals in the season, and the music seemed to have stopped. I still kept Tails to continue. After a minute passed by, the music stopped. Tails was running up a hill and he stopped. It wasn't too long until I saw why. Sonic was scared on the opposite side of the screen with his back and Tails with his eyes closed. Tails was happy to see Sonic, but his smile faltered, obviously noticing that Sonic wasn't responding to him and not acting if he was oblivious of Tails' presence. Tails walked towards Sonic. I noticed that I wasn't even moving my keyboard to make him move, so this had to be a cutscene. Suddenly, I began to have a crawling feeling of death as Tails walked closer to Sonic to catch his attention. I felt Tails was in danger and something bad was about to happen. I heard things started going wild as Tails was but inches away from Sonic and shot his hand out to touch him. After a fleeting feeling on my heart was going Sonic, and I felt the urge to tell Tails to get away from Sonic as the static grew louder. Suddenly, in a split second, I saw Sonic's eyes open and they were back of course red glowing dots. That's like a title image. But yet there wasn't smile. When that happened, the scene turned back and the static sound was off. It stayed back for about 7 seconds, and white text appeared forming a message saying, "Hello, do you want to play with me?" At this point, I was creeped out. I didn't want to continue with the game, but my curiosity got the better of me when I was taken to a different level, with the level title now saying Hide and Seek. This time, I was in the Angel Island level from Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and it looked like everything was on fire. Tails looked like he was sailed out of his wits this time. He looked at me and made faster dashes to me as if he wanted to head out the area he was in as fast as possible. I was starting to get freaked out at this. Tails, a video game kiddo, was actually breaking the fourth wall, telling me to get down from here. So I passed the hurricane and made him run as fast as he could. A pixelated hippie theme when you meet Sato at the Ark as Robotnik in Sonic Adventure 2 was playing. As they made Tails tech through the desolate forest trying to help him escape from whatever he was trying to run from. Sorry, I heard the TP laugh again. Ho 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 ho! That awful careful laugh. Right after 10 seconds have passed, as I helped Tails through the forest, I started seeing flashes of Sonic popping everywhere around the scene and chemicals back in red eyes. The music changed to get to sensory downing Dino's. I see Sonic behind Tails, so we came up on him. Fine. Sonic wasn't running, he was actually fine. His fine pose looked very similar to Metal Sonic's fine pose in Sonic CD, except it was the Sonic and he had the back and red eyes. Only this time he had the most deranged looking skin on his face. He looked like as he was enduring the torment that he was giving the poor little fox as he came out on him. Sorry, Tails tipped. It looked like a knock cutscene. The music stopped and Sonic vanished. Tails laid here and started crying for 15 seconds. The scene was regular setting to loss and I kind of teared up myself. But then Sonic appeared right in front of Tails and Tails looked up in horror. But started to calm down, goes back in the eyes of Sonic as a skin slowly flew from his face. As he looked down at the horrified fox, there was nothing due to us. Just in a split second, Sonic runs at Tails before the screen went back. There was a loud releasing noise that lasted 5 seconds. The text returned, only this time it said, "You too slow, want to tire cat?" Then get scarred after a laugh came with it. Ho 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 ho! I was so shocked by what had happened. Did Sonic murder Tails? No, he could have had. He and Tails were supposed to be best friends, right? Why did Sonic do that to him? I shook the sock off as I was brought to the character select. The save file that Tails was different. Tails was no longer in the box, but in the TV screen itself, which was flickering with that red setting. Tails' expression sailed me. His eyes were backed and beating. His orange forehead gone back, and he had a expression of aimless on his face. Time to know I picked Knuckles next. The left came again. Ho 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 ho! And the screen cut to back again and stayed there for another 10 seconds. This time the level said, "You can't run." I was really freaked out by now. I couldn't really tell if this was a kiss or a hack or some kind of takes a dog, or anything really. But despite my fear of what happened next, I kept playing. The next level looked different. It had the count of the sapping zone, but the side background looked like the main menu. It had the reddest county side, but it was the music that kept me out the most. It was the Kaikis theme right after you beat Pokey in Earthbound. Not to be confused with Can't Beat the Pokey here though. I also noticed that Knuckles looked just like Tails did, not as much. More, he looked like a little unnerved. He broke the fourth wall just like Tails did, as if he wasn't sure of what was going on. But I made him move anyway. He ran down the safe area in the stock as he did the scene that I did to Pickle Sadik a couple times as a mattering laugh and a ho 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 ho. And after a few seconds of running, I noticed several bun stains on the metallic ground. I felt a cooling sense of fear and thinking something horrible was about to happen to Knuckles. He looked nauseated walking down the Bart swinged road, but I kept him going. Sorry as Knuckles ran. Sonic appeared right in front of him, of course, back in Red's eyes, and Red Tag appeared again when Sonic battles. We saw nothing but the back swing with Tech saying, "Found you." I was now scared. Sonic found Knuckles already. What was going on? Anyways, Red Sonic came again, and I was back to the level. Knuckles hooked right into his panicking, and Sonic was nowhere to be found. At this time, the high-pitched screaming from Silent Hill's 1's final boss was paid. Was this kind of boss battle with Sonic? I hope to God it wasn't, honestly. Suddenly, Sonic appeared behind Knuckles and what appeared to be pixelated back smoke. I made Knuckles turn and then punch Sonic, but Sonic vanished in the back pixelated smoke before I could even land a hit. A terrible laugh went off again. Ho 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 ho! And Sonic appeared behind Knuckles again, and I made him pause again. And Sonic vanished again, laughing. Ho 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 ho! Knuckles was panicking even more, and I even felt like that I was going crazy. Sonic was practically playing with us. He was playing a slick, twisted little mind game with me, Knuckles. A Knuckles cutscene played as Knuckles fell to his knees and crossed his head, sobbing. I felt his agony. Sonic was driving us both crazy. And in a split second, Sonic runs at Knuckles, and the screen went back with a Knuckles distorted squeaking noise. I was for about 3 seconds. A Knuckles text message appeared. So many source of power, so little time. What you lucky? What the hell is going on? I started to think that Sonic was actually trying to talk to me through the game, but I was too scared to think that. I was brought back to the main menu, and this time the second firebox had Knuckles in the TV screen. His red forehead sunk into a lettuce cake. His dad walked through dipping with Bart, and his eyes were back and beating too, and he had a look of sadness on his face. I began to think it was actually the actual kid was tapping those TV screens, but I couldn't believe it. I didn't want to. So I sat out the game and take a bath. I took a nap. I wish I hadn't. Then I had the most disturbing nightmare I could ever have. I was in pitch black darkness cold. I was under the light came by a lamp that hung behind my head, and I heard the cries of Knuckles and Tails nearby. He was saying stuff like, "Help us!" and "Why did you give us to him?" and "Run away because he gets you too." The cries died out as I heard Sonic laugh. His laugh, it sounded like a lot like the Cathro laugh. Ho 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 ho! You're a lot of fun to play with, kid. Just like your friend Kyle. Cool, he didn't last one. I was sad looking for the source of the voice. Won't be long until you join him and all my ugly friends. I saw him walking towards me, flickering out in several directions. You can want to get you in my world now, just like the uncles. And he grabbed me. I saw his beating back and red teen face. I woke up with a fight. I know after a couple of hours I decided to continue playing him. I don't know why, but I had to. No, I had to figure out why was this happening. So I turned on the computer, turned on the game, and selected Robotnik next. I still thought what was wacky playing as Robotnik. Anyways, the level title appeared, and this time it said, which I found really freaky. This time I was in some kind of hallway. Didn't realize it was taken from any of the classic Sonic games. So it was in the pixelated style. The floor was sunny and tackled. The walls a dark haze purple with animated candle lights and a few spot stains here and here. There was a dark red coating hanging on top of the top part of the screen. Every 12 seconds or so, The red curtain says really slowly, but whenever you paint the camera, you could barely see it move. The music was oddly pleasant. A piano playing a rather sad yet peaceful tune. I knew better. This was the song that played in Hero Act 1, only it wasn't in Reborn. Robotnik didn't look entirely nervous like Tails and Knuckles did. He did have a suspicious look on his face, as if he was just a bit pale and annoyed. I did a little animation when I just left him standing. He turns his head to the left, at least Tyson socks at me, as if he has no idea what was even going on, even though I was sad out of my mind about what was going to happen. I had Robotnik continue onwards. He did his usual running animation when you beat him at the end of a classic Sonic game when you chase him. As we continue going through the hallway, then I stopped at a long flight of stairs leading downward. Now I was nervous. Even Robotnik seemed unsure of himself. I quickly pressed onward. As I led Robotnik down the stairs, I noticed the walls had gotten darker and more reddish as the red circles on our eerie blue. Then we landed on another hallway. This one was longer than the last one, or at least it felt like it. Then we headed down another flight of stairs down. This one was much longer. It took at least 1 full minute. And I heard that whole campfire laugh again. Ho, 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 ho. And then the music slowly faded onto it was quiet. As did the walls turn more dark red, and the torches were now back fame now. When Robotnik landed onto the third hallway, I noticed that he looked really creeped out. He tried to hide it. I couldn't blame him. I was able to. Suddenly, Sonic popped right in front of Robotnik as the same way as he did Knuckles and Red Static. The Red Static lasted for 15 seconds. Then it showed me a most unpleasant image. The image showed Sonic standing in darkness where you could only see his face, and his head and torso were faded into black. He looked so weird, as if you could actually see the lines in his blue fur, as if you could actually feel the fur if you touched the screen. His face, oh God, he had the most horrifying smile I had ever seen. And yet, only considering that I saw that it was at the start of the game. His eyes were wide and black behind, but there were 2 small red dots in his black eyes staring right at me, as if he was staring into my mind. His skin was white and demonic. It literally stretched to the size of his face like Tesla had, except Sonic had fangs, really small fangs. Much like the Whalehawk's teeth, except more business looking. Somewhat yellowish from the look at it. He had changed about and saw bits of fat on his lips and fangs as if he ate some animal. I stared at that gruesome image for a good 40 seconds, never taking my eyes off of it. I felt like he was actually looking at me, smiling at me. Yet face it does took 10 seconds for me to ask itself into my painful food. Then the scene flickered with red static again 3 times, and on the 4th time I heard the campfire laugh. Except this time it sounded so the demonic everyone. Ho! It went back to the image, except this time it gave the taxa cat. Who messed up. But in Peace of Chaos was one of the most horrifying things I worked since I had this game. I am God, it said. When I read that message while looking at Sonic, and it hit me. I realized right there on can. And this Sonic was a monster. Pete Evil said, this is all-powerful nightmare was the mountain monster. All of his big dumps, including Tails, Knuckles, and Robotnik, and possibly Kyle, are thus his little toys. And the game is his scary gateway to his chaotic, nightmarish world that the scary hell and his big thumbs are tapped in. Suddenly, for an actual split second, I screamed at Sonic once at the screen, ceasing loudly with his mouth wide to an unnatural way, revealing nothing but a literally spouting out fists of pure darkness before the red static came again. This time it sounded much louder when he saw it, so loud that it actually hurt my eyes, and I yelled and clapped my ears as the red static ceased for a good 7 seconds. Then it stopped and saw nothing but back screen. As I was staring at the back screen, one was text came up. Ready for round 2, Tom? The cat valve left now sounded murky as the sound was way behind me. Paid again 3 times as I looked at the text and side-eyed conclusion. Ho 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 ho! Ho 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 ho! Ho 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 ho! Then I got booted back to the main menu, and this time the file had received the image of Robotic in the same tone stage as Tails and Knuckles. Robotic's sin had thus turned a dual K, and his mustache stopped and beckoned. His glasses broke and bodies coming from him, and he looked ahead. He had a more dad expression on his face. I looked like Tails, Knuckles, and Robotnik and cried that I pitted again for the agony to get their coin through. They'll be forever trapped in the game, forever tormented for that horrid hedgehog, and always will be. Then the computer shut itself off. I couldn't turn it back on no matter what I did. I sat there for maybe 25 seconds, horrified at what had thus happened. Sonic is the scary embodiment of evil. He tortures people who faces shame in more ways than one, and when he gets bored, he drags you into and literally does you into hell. He could play with you always as his toy. I cannot get the game off my computer. I think it's stuck in there. At least I managed to turn it back on now. So I sat there for 25 seconds. I heard a voice behind me, like a whistle. Try to keep this interesting for me, Tom. And then I turned my back to see where the voice came from, and what I saw made me sleep. See, in my bag was a Sonic posse with blood stains under its eyes. Okay, so it's time for the creepypasta review. Now, Sonic.exe was posted all the way back in the early 2010s, and even got a game made for it. And the sequel, Sonic.exe, I already narrated it, as you could see. Also had a game for it, but check out that video about the Sonic.exe story. But anyways, I love this creepypasta. I love how they described the body Sonic, and also I like this concept of Sonic being the devil of the game world, and he heals Tails, Knuckles, and Robotnik, and torsos them, and plays around with them like toys. And I like the idea of this being cursed, and if you click on it, how Sonic does catch you. And because of that, I'll give this story a 11 out of 10. That's a Sonic.exe. It did a lot of the same things right, and I appreciate the awful of the story. So anyways, bye-bye, and see you on the next creepypasta.